Hi guys, and welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be giving you 5 movies to watch before Nosferatu. Now, we haven't done one of these videos yet, Jenks.
First time.
So I'm looking forward to try something a bit different. I'm looking forward to talk about films that kind of relate to Nosferatu, and we're hoping to give you some good picks that maybe you haven't heard of.
Yes, I know this is a horror channel and we should be watching every horror film, but I haven't seen the original black and white silent thing. That's why it's not on the list. I know
Disgusting, Jenks.
I know.
Disgusting.
Have you seen it, the original?
No.
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 I know we're not very classy, but I just can't bring myself to watch a silent movie. It's just too much. Right, so my first pick is Bram Stoker's Dracula. And it came out in 1992 with Francis Ford Coppola's masterpiece, in my opinion. It made a bunch of money when it came out, like over 200 million, which is massive back then. It was only like a 40 million budget. But it is kind of underrated, or at least forgotten. It's just like one of those lost 90s horror films. It was a funny time for horror. I think this was right out of the gate, it was the first sort of classy horror of the 90s. It had Anthony Hopkins, Winona Ryder, Keanu Reeves with a very questionable English accent. And I think he was hot property back then. He was good looking. He's playing Renfield. But I think the director underestimated how bad his English accent would be. I think they should have just done like Kevin Costner, Robin Hood, just be American. Who gives a shit?
Who cares?
But it's an awesome film. And Anthony Hopkins plays I've forgotten the name now. Van Helsing. The most famous vampire hunter ever. I forgot his name. And Gary Oldman plays Dracula. I would say up there with Christopher Lee being the most iconic Dracula ever. His performance as Dracula is so intense. He has so many different costume changes, makeup changes. It's so disturbing. It's just worth watching it even for that. And I absolutely love this film. I rewatched it a couple of years ago and I would recommend it to anybody. Yeah.
Good shout, Jenks. I think we've talked about this recently and I still haven't seen it. Now, I haven't been purposely avoiding it, like I don't fancy it. I bought it on Blu-ray a few years ago and I never got around to it. It's just a film that I've never got around to watching.
Yeah, it's worth watching. It's on Amazon Prime as well.
Yeah, I will watch it soon.
Yeah.
Right, so my first pick is Guillermo del Toro's 1993 vampire masterpiece, Cronos. So Cronos is about this antique dealer who finds this 600-year-old artifact called Cronos that's said to give eternal life with a price. While playing with this device, with a price.
With a price.
I was trying to do the trailer man, you know. It comes with a price.
A Welsh trailer man. It comes with a price. I sound Scottish and I am Welsh. I couldn't even do my own accent.
Yeah, so basically he starts playing with this device. He accidentally triggers the mechanics and the legs come out and pierce into his skin. With this, he starts to get younger. He starts to crave blood. You already know the rest. So it plays like a classic vampire story. Now, I don't think they actually mention the vampire name in it.
Yeah.
It's a bit classier than that.
Yeah,
it doesn't want to call itself a vampire movie.
Like saying zombie in a zombie movie.
Yeah, exactly. Like Shaun of the Dead.
Yeah.
Don't say that. What?
Yeah.
The Z word.
I know.
Any zombies out there? Don't say that. What? That? What? That?
It's exactly like that. But yeah, so he gets infected with this vampire disease that's attached to this Cronos device. Kind of looks like a spider. It's got these legs that comes out and attaches to your skin. Billionaire, played by Ron Perlman, gets wind of this device that can give you eternal life and give you youth. He gets wind of it, and then he basically plays the villain when he's trying to hunt this guy down and get this device off him. And it's great. It's a proper Guillermo del Toro movie. It's a classic gothic tale, like most of his movies. And the reason I picked this one, like, I'm not going to recommend you watch From Dusk Till Dawn before watching Nosferatu, but this one is a proper classic cautionary tale vampire story. And it's so underrated, Jenks. No one talks about this movie. It's one of Guillermo del Toro's early films, and I highly recommend checking this one out.
I love Guillermo del Toro. I love directors
God,
with
he's so good.
with their own sort of style. And I've seen pretty much most of his films, even the Spanish ones. His first film I ever saw was The Devil's Backbone.
Yeah,
I was learning
great
Spanish at the time, and I was like part of my homework, and I was like, "This is best homework ever."
Yeah.
It's a really good film. Do you think I'd like it because you know my taste?
Definitely. It's a
Yeah.
really classy horror film. 1993, it's not too old.
Yeah.
And it's just a great tale. It's awesome.
Awesome. Okay, my next pick is really close to Nosferatu. It actually contains Nosferatu, and it is Shadow of the Vampire. Came out 2000. Now, at the time, I know this is going to make me sound like Quentin Tarantino, but I was working at Blockbuster. Everyone who works at Blockbuster thinks he's going to be the next Tarantino because he worked in a video shop.
Yeah.
But used to get free videos, and I only grabbed it because it was free at the time, and it was a great film. It stars John Malkovich and Willem Dafoe. Willem Dafoe, oddly enough, is in the new Nosferatu. And it's such a clever meta original story. So it's about the director of the original Nosferatu movie making a silent movie, and the director was, I'm going to butcher his name now. It's Friedrich Murnau or something like that, some German. Murnau, right? Anyway, so John Malkovich is playing the real director. And Max Schreck, a guy who played the original vampire from the silent one, is played by Willem Dafoe. And the basic premise is he is a real vampire. He's pretending to be this sort of method actor. You can't talk to the actor. He's in character. But John Malkovich is getting rid of all the crosses. They find blood, and he's still sort of playing the game that is just part and parcel of the performance. But Willem Dafoe is actually what's his name? What's his name now?
Count Orlok.
Count Orlok. And it's such a clever idea, and it's so underrated. Most people don't even know it exists. Yeah. It's not that old. I know 24 years is a long time, but it's still relatively modern as modern movies go. And I would recommend it. Yes. Definitely.
I have seen it, but years ago. If I put it on now, it'd be like a fresh film. So I'll definitely give it another rewatch. When you said this one actually does include Nosferatu, I thought you were going to pick What We Do in the Shadows, Peter. I was like, what movie isn't Nosferatu but includes Nosferatu? Oh, What We Do in the Shadows.
Yes. Well, there's shadow in the title, so it's pretty close. Yeah, we couldn't work in another review of we do any opportunity we work in What We Do in the Shadows.
And I'll accept it. It's the only movie I'll accept. I'll talk about it any day.
Yes.
Right, so my next pick, I'm going for another classy movie here, Jenks, something that kind of represents how classy Nosferatu is. And I've got Park Chan-wook's Thirst. I know you haven't seen this one because it's foreign and you're useless. But this one follows Sang Hyun, good pronunciation.
Well done.
He's a Catholic priest who volunteers for this risky medical experiment to develop this vaccine for a deadly virus. The experiment goes wrong and he basically gets infected, but he survives due to this blood transfusion. Unfortunately, the blood transfusion included vampire blood. So he dies and he basically gets reincarnated because of this blood transfusion he gets. And what's great about this one is that he's a priest and he starts turning into this vampire and he starts getting the lust for blood, but he obviously doesn't want to kill any people. It's a very well-made, classy vampire movie, and it's got some of the most disturbing scenes you'll ever see. It's Korean, it's expected, it's the same director as Old Boy in the Vengeance trilogy. Yeah. So he doesn't want to kill people, so he starts sneaking blood from hospitals. You've got the blood bags and IV drips.
Yeah.
So he starts feeding on those, but then that's not enough, and he gets this insatiable lust to kill people, and it's about him battling with the desires that have now been thrown on him. And oh my God, I watched this movie for the first time a few years ago, and it's easily one of the best vampire movies ever made, and it's unlike any vampire movie I've seen. It's a polarizing one. Some people love it, some people hate it. it did win Cannes Best Film in 2006, so you know it's classy.
Yeah.
But I highly recommend this one. I know it's not a vampire movie that a lot of people have seen, but I cannot recommend this one enough. I'll just say one thing. If you do watch it, wait for the bathtub scene. It's one of the nastiest scenes I've ever seen in a movie.
Do you think I like it?
Absolutely, yeah. It's a phenomenal film.
So last time I was up in your house, we watched Elm Street 5 and Jason X. Next time, let's just watch something like really, really good. Let's watch Thirst and maybe watch Bram Stoker's Dracula.
Yeah,
Something
let's do
a bit,
it.
yeah, and then one trashy movie. Right, our last shared pick. Now I know it's a bit of a cop out. This is not a film. This is a mini series. We were going to do 4 picks, but 5 sound better, and I didn't want to leave this out. Neither of us did, and it's one of our favorite mini series ever. It's by Mike Flanagan. It came out 2021. And it's the awesome Midnight Mass, and we love this movie. Mini series.
See, you're tripping yourself.
I know. It's a cop out, but who cares? So
yeah, we both agreed we had to talk about this one because obviously it's inspired by these classic vampire movies, and Mike Flanagan is a favourite director of both of us, so we had to talk about it. And it's a mini series. It's on for 8 hours. There's 8 episodes, so. Watch them all in one go. It's a movie. Who cares?
But pretend it's an 8-hour epic, isn't it?
Yeah, I would watch it in one go as well, easily.
Yeah.
But basically, it's about this small town on an island. They're devoted Catholics. Are they Catholic, Christian?
Who knows?
They're religious. I don't know much about religion, but they're religious. They've got one church on the island, and basically a new priest comes to town, Father Paul, and with him, I say town, island. All right, it's on an island. And he comes into town claiming that their father, Poyer, or whatever his name is, has fallen ill. So he's come to take over his job and be their new priest, right? But with him, he brings some miracles and he advises that he can heal people. You know, there's a girl in the town that can't walk. He gets her walking, but obviously he brings a dark secret with him.
Yeah, and I don't want to give too much away because surprisingly, loads of people haven't seen this. It's not as like, it's the same makers as Haunting of Hill House, but everyone's seen that, but they've somehow skipped Midnight Mass and sort of the connection. So they don't mention vampire in this either, if I'm not mistaken.
No, they don't.
It's like you have to assume it's a vampire, sort of they're allergic to sunlight, but you've got this, without spoiling it, you've got this sort of Nosferatu character that's kind of in the shadows, but I think episode 4 he kind of gets revealed in the church, and it is the most shocking moment when he's walking down the aisle of the church.
Yeah, oh my god.
And you because it's been slowly building, and you really react. I remember, even though I knew he was coming, I opened my eyes like that as if I was one of the people sitting on the piers watching. His presence is so startling and eerie. It is. I got goosebumps thinking about it. It's very Nosferatu. It's very Kurt Barlow from Salem's Lot.
100%.
Definitely a bit of mashup of the two, and it's just absolutely immense, and I love it.
Yeah, it's a masterpiece. It's my favourite thing that Mike Flanagan has done.
Yeah.
Obviously, he's done loads of great. I wouldn't say it's miles better than anything else he's done. It just resonates with me more. Like you said, it feels like Salem's Lot. It feels like these classic horror movies where you've got these small towns. You know, it's got one sheriff, one church. Everyone knows each other. It's this small fishing island.
Yeah.
And they're just a bit down on their luck. The houses, there's no money coming onto the island, and their houses are all beaten up and they need a little lick of paint. And this new pastor comes to town and everything starts getting great, and he promises them health and morality, and obviously, he, like I said, he brings that dark secret with him, and everything comes at a price, and it's a great tale. I absolutely love Midnight Mass.
Yeah, and if you are going to watch it, it is a little bit of a slow burner, but I promise you it's worth the wait. It's only 8 episodes, and like honestly, by episode, it's not crap and slow. It's just there's not a lot of vampire action until later. It's just these little miracles, and I would highly recommend it. Yeah, definitely. Right. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you love horror, if you love ranking, please subscribe. Check out Nosferatu is out very soon, the new one. We'll catch you on the next one. Cheers, guys.
Cheers, guys.